coverage of the Oceanic Open ladder. My name is Jake Hysterix, Aussie Panko, and with me, of course, is Nathan Mendrix Mendez, and we've been having a pretty good afternoon here in Australia, the country that we live in, and it's been so intense. We've had Krispy Kreme crew and, of course, Avant Gaming Academy who've proved their worth over and over again, and we're just really highlighting the expectations coming through here in the Open ladder.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm very excited to see half the teams that come through. I mean, everyone is actually showing great potential, which means it's just going to be more impressive when it does come to the Oceanic Challenger Series coming through. But this particular tournament has been showing me a lot of scrappers, a lot of great plays, and a lot of really skilled players coming through.
And of course, Kudos Gaming are versing the Passionfruit team, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I love the name of the Passionfruit.
Passionfruit.
So, Passionfruit team. So Kudos Gaming versus Passionfruit, and Passionfruit looks so strong, beating one of the favourites in this competition, the Krispy Kreme crew. So they are out. So I've got to get my information right. They are out of the loose bracket, and we've got Passionfruit versus Kudos Gaming coming through. And the first pick coming through, the first pick and ban phase, and Maokai already getting taken out along with Hecarim. Hecarim being a very popular pick at the moment. Anime is cool, played him so well. Zerath getting banned, not something I'd normally see, and Sejuani as well.
Yeah, Sejuani is just an all-round strong ban. That Zerath must be a specialty pick.
Yeah.
They want to make sure that the mid laner of
Saurus probably has some speciality on Zerath. We don't know yet. Another mystery team coming in. I love it. And Saurus doing... If he was a good Zerath, that's a really good ban to get out of there. You don't want any comfort picks coming in the open ladder. That's what wins the games. And, of course, Hecarim, a comfort pick for many, not available at the moment. Anime is cool. Solidarity... No, that's not a word, is it? He solidly locks in Gragas and ensures that for the jungle.
Yeah, Gragas is still a fantastic jungle. We've always mentioned that if he manages to get a flash body slam off early, generally means a first blood for whichever lane he's ganking at the time. He's just a very strong laner throughout the entire game, provides amazing utility, and because of that Cinder Hulk, he's just going to be a tank through and through.
Yeah, and Dank Tank actually locks in the Nautilus, probably going to go support to Jabes down there, and we might see the LeBlanc coming through, especially for Saurus, and Saurus probably going to go with that LeBlanc. Very strong pick at the moment, but we saw a Kassadin counter before, so anything could happen.
Yeah, definitely. It was very interesting to see that the Kassadin, who should technically win that lane, should lose that lane, ended up winning that lane, being a really big by Triple Cheese, and he definitely shows us some amazing plays as well throughout this game. He's sort of like a dark horse team as well. But Passionfruit themselves, they've got Zhao Main, they've got the Chow Main, and the Coterie now also coming through for their picks. Those names really get you after a while.
we're going to start loving it. And we might be seeing a bit of a different meta shift here because Kallista's been taken out. So that leaves the 80 carries of possibly maybe a Graves, and that Sivir will get picked up. And, of course, the Sivir getting chosen here quite early with a Lulu possibly in the middle or maybe a support. But a Jinx... That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, Jinx has just been a fantastic ADC at the moment. She's been very strong. She did get nerfed a little bit coming through for her Mega Death Rocket.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because if you can actually snipe that, then you're okay.
Pretty much. It still does pretty much as much damage at max range. It's just to stop people from shotgunning it in people's faces. Same thing that they did for Graves. They want you to actually be shotgunning people in people's faces. So if there is a Graves being picked, he's a little bit weaker when he uses his initial hit to just push
his
through.
His buckshot.
That's
it. His buckshot got nerfed, so maybe won't see a Graves just for now. A little bit of a change in his buckshot means that there's some more risk factors involved. But a Hover of the Narn, that's potentially a very good pick to go against any top laner at all.
Yeah, definitely. Nar's a very strong top laner at the moment. He's also jumped up to 55% across all queues.
Yeah.
If you take a look at the statistics out there at the moment, and he just scales so well into the game. He built him as a full tank. He's got that percentage HP shred when he's in his mini Gnar form, and once he goes to Mega Gnar form, he's a CC machine.
And Gnar in the top lane looks like it will be. We see Leona getting popped in straight away, and I love how Leona not very relevant recently. I don't know why. It's like the meta's shift towards that Nautilus, the Thresh, but Leona still as powerful as ever. That CC lockdown is huge. And Kudos Gaming, we haven't seen them just yet, so Jabes might come out of the brush and surprise us. And if that is our first Bard, that is something to celebrate.
Yeah, definitely. Bard is a fantastic champion. I've seen him used to great effect throughout other competitions and on the Rift as well. If you really time his ultimate well, which Tempered Fate?
Yes, correct.
There we go.
High five.
Going through with that Tempered Fate can actually be really strong because it zones out a whole team and leaving you free to pick someone up. But they're going to decide to go with the more safer pick, get that Thresh. He's always good.
Yeah, and Thresh might be a bit of a safer pick, but everyone wants to see the Bard. So unfortunately, probably not this time. The Aurelia gets locked down as well, or is it locked? The Janna gets picked up, and looks like we're going to be seeing Janna down in that bottom lane with the Jinx, and the Aurelia moving straight to the top. So it is going to be a mid lane Lulu in the end, as looks like they're going to pick their AD carry or Garen.
Yes, I think with that, Garen is definitely going to be the pick for ADC. It'll be interesting to see if he does do it. I mean, you've been wanting to see a Garen in the competition.
Garen. Everyone loves Garen. He spins people around. What can you not love about that?
Well, he guarantees victory.
He
you can
does.
definitely imagine that.
Oh, he does. With his judgment. Yeah, great. Great. With the AD carry, this is something a bit particular. You don't have that Kalista to go against the Jinx. So the Sivir, yes. But you could be a bit peculiar, in my opinion. You might want to go to the Lucian.
Lucian will definitely be a good pick. He's always a great pick because he's got those dashes, the double tap, which is a very good tank breaker. But the only real tank you've got in the enemy team is Gragas.
Yep.
And although he is a very tanky jungler once he gets going, I don't believe he is the tankiest of tank. I mean, if you really want to have a Lucian more for those Maokais, more for the Mundos as they go through. So if you have that Lucian, he's going to go through and break it. But they do pick up the Sivir in this regard. Sivir is a great champion.
Safe pick.
She's a very safe
Relatively safe pick.
She's been in the meta for quite some time.
Yeah.
She actually has the potential to bully out Jinx early, which in most cases Jinx does that herself. But Sivir's just a fantastic champion. That Ricochet is so much clear, very safe on top of all that.
Yeah, and look, I mean, on the hunt, when that got popped last game, the only thing stopping her was the fact that she couldn't get to that back line. So Krispy Kreme crew had a bit of trouble with the Sivir. Will this team? I don't know.
We don't know. We have to say and see what Kudos Gaming can do.
Yeah, look. Oh, sorry to interrupt you there, but like, I have a theory popped out. Now, the Sivir has only been on the winning team once today. The Sivir, if locked down, that's it for the team. That's my theory, that the Sivir, whether the Sivir goes well or not, really decides the fate of the team.
Okay, fair enough. So you're saying in the case with Krispy Kreme crew when they actually lost that early lane,
yeah,
that was the nail on the coffin.
Because Sivir's boomerang blade has an ability to go through everyone. So it can hit from the back line whether you're CC'd or not. You throw out the boomerang blade, it's going to do a lot of damage. Of course, the more people it hits, the less damage it does. But with the Sivir, if the Sivir's not fed, then her ability to, cleave through that enemy side. Of course, Ricochet does that as well. All you have to do is time a spell shield. And you've got that ability to hit everyone in the team at once. So if a Sivir's not fed, of course, that's like with any AD carry, but Sivir more so, purely because her ability to reach through the team.
Fair enough. I get what you're saying in that regard.
We'll
She definitely has that engage to also move in and out between the team fights and throw that boomerang blade out to get more damage in. And if she is fed, she's definitely going to do a lot more damage.
As you would.
But yeah, as you would. But then you also have an Aurelia rampaging down on you, and she has a lot of CC sustain, whereas her ultimate is that her passive, which basically reduces CC effects with her the closer she is to enemies. So that's one of the crazy things about her. And as the game goes on, that's going to be definitely a big factor for her. You can spell shield the stun, but then that just opens you up to all the other CC that the team has available to you.
And there's a lot of CC coming through, of course. When we look at the side of Passionfruit coming through, the Aurelia, the Gragas, the Lulu, of course the Jinx has two moves that are CC, the Zap and the Traps can lock down and stun someone. So that's pretty dangerous coming through. And then you have a Janna who's the queen of disengages, you said before. So their whole team consists of CC. It's just how they use it.
Pretty much. And CC is just a very strong tool. You see a lot of teams like to just stack it. Sometimes they might do it on the space of, well, let's lose some damage and we'll get more CC out on the field. Sometimes that works against them. It's a matter of really choosing your team style and what you want to go with it. To be honest, they do have a good mix of damage with the Aurelia and the Jinx. So they definitely have a lot of CC, but they definitely have the damage to put someone down once they hit them with it.
And you got to think that Aurelia, like the other games come through, that the Aurelia does so much work, can run straight to the AD carry or the AP carry and CC the hell out of them. But you got to play Aurelia right. If you get CC'd or if you get zoned out as Aurelia, then you're pretty much nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. If you lose, if you don't deal your damage while you got your hit 10 style up, that means you won't be able to be doing true damage to whoever your target is. So if you do get locked down before that hit 10 style takes effect, you're in a lot of trouble because once you do finally get onto them, you're not going to be doing any damage.
No damage Aurelia is no damage at all, is it?
Pretty much, yeah. All depends on the build. I mean, you could go very damage-oriented Aurelia, but then you probably wouldn't survive making your way towards the ADC.
One day we'll see that. The day that Garen comes back into the meta, we'll see that. Because Garen is the meta.
he guarantees he'll be back.
Yeah, he does. Our puns are just getting worse.
Yes, as the game goes on. As the day continues, the puns are getting worse and worse.
So versing a Gnar, does Aurelia stack up well?
She actually, she does stack up very well because Gnar's all about getting tanky when he initiates and she can just deal true damage to him. So she's actually seen as a counter to the Gnar, especially because he tends to get more HP than her and wear her down, and that gives her the opportunity to actually throw in, deal her stun, start her hit 10 style, and burst him down before he knows what's happening.
And of course, the Aurelia is probably going to do that. I mean, you see brutal Aurelias coming through in this competition. We see in the mid lane, the Lulu, a bit of a passive support pick. And the reason I say that because, you know, of course, the Glitter Lance is used to slow, and the shields and the wild growth, the ultimate, is so good for that AD carry or the person who engages first. And Lulu is really good for the team composition, isn't it?
Well, definitely. Lulu's a strong pick in any team composition. If you have one tank, she can just throw her ultimate onto that. There you go. You have an amazing engage going in for the rest of the team. If she throws, she can use it to save her ADC. She's got very powerful shields as well.
She does.
So Lulu's just one of those really strong utility supports, like Karma as well, but just lacking a little bit on the damage.
And as we move into the game now of course, Kudos Gaming versus Team Passionfruit, and Team Passionfruit proved their worth last game of how ready they are for this competition. Of course, Chow Mine was such a good disengaged support. So let's see if Jabes can work his way up to that, or whether we're seeing another team that's gone under the radar and is doing very well. Of course, Kudos Gaming on the blue side and Team Passionfruit on the red side there.
Yeah, and that ward going down really early there, Chow Main's probably going to be a little bit annoyed seeing that. And it's going to be interesting to see. He's just, you know, Kudos Dank just sitting there going,
Dank tank, yep.
They're the Dank tank. He's just going to be like, yeah, no worries. Let me just scare you off a little bit and laugh you out.
So the ward there spots out any invading. It looks like we're going to have pretty standard lanes coming through. Some nice fanning coming out from both sides there.
Yeah, definitely. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this game plays out. Very standard stuff. They're just going to sit back, relax, and not do too much about it.
Nothing out of the meta here. Everyone's really relevant. Didn't expect to see the Nautilus... Didn't expect to see the Nautilus come through with a bit of a, you know, a bit of a change, coming through there. He's in the jungle. You normally see him on the support.
Yeah, definitely. And he's still a very strong jungle. He's got an amazing gank when he goes through. He'll just throw his dredge line out, hook wherever he can. He's just going to be a menace walking out of that bush at any point in time. And he still brings a lot to the team with his zoning capabilities, with his lockdown, with his depth charge.
And of course, coming back to this, I just realised that we do have a bit of swap. Of course, Kudos Gaming are on the red side, and we have Team Passionfruit on the blue side. Perfect as that, and pretty standard lanes coming through for the first part of the game. The Nautilus going to start with the Gromp, and we're going to see the Gragas start with the Krugs. All perfect there. A bit of bruising coming through against Xiao Main, and Saurus doing a lot of damage at LeBlanc.
Yeah, definitely. That's what she's going to do in the early game. She's going to hit there, try and stop Lulu from being too strong at all. Lulu is actually 21-0-9 at the moment, which means she is very vulnerable to LeBlanc's ganks, but she's going to have a lot of sustain to make up for it.
And that damage, I was just watching that come through from the Jinx. Really able to go well between that rocket and the minigun form, making it so easy just to do some damage. And Lulu doing quite a lot against Saurus in the mid lane. Looks like the distortion will come out, and a lot of damage being traded between this bot and middle lane, especially this mid lane where everyone's going aggressive really fast.
Yeah, I just seem to see, all these different skill shots and things flying out in that bottom lane. And they're doing a good job just pushing through. I'm surprised Siffa hasn't managed to bully them out just yet. But level 2 has come across for Passionfruit down in that bot lane straight away. So it's going to... there we go. Now it's Kudos Gaming have got that level 2 as well. So now they can make their way back into lane and see if they can push them out.
Xiao Main just being a bit of a nuisance against Jabes. He now has his Zenith Blade. He misses it on Rainy, and doesn't mean there's any CC going there, but Xiao Main might actually be the one to get CC'd here, having to force a flash. He gets Rainy instead, and Xiao Main gets so much damage taken on him. The zap goes on Jabes, and there's no jungle to retaliate down here. Rainy gets stunned, and the flash comes through. Nautilus looks for the next point of kill, but doesn't find it, and a flash getting taken out of Nautilus.
Yeah, they've managed to force them out of lane now, which means they can just push through, get some extra experience, extra gold. A lot of resources are also used by both the bot lane there, so you probably look to see Nautilus come and make a return visit and try to make that happen. But very unfortunate there that he managed to get the hook onto Jinx instead of onto Janna. That would have been a kill there if he did that. Fantastic re-engage by Leona as well, just to wrap up that team fight and get a little bit of extra damage in there.
Yeah, so now the bottom lane knows what to expect. A lot of pressure from Nautilus already coming from Kudos Gaming, and they're looking like they're a serious menace to start off. Jubes and Zippo synergizing quite well. Corduroy picks up the red. Nautilus goes to it, and he knows someone's been here. Someone's been at my red, as we see a bit of a rotation coming up top for Gragas.
He didn't have his detective hat on. If he went a little bit further, he could have realized Katori taking advantage of that fact. Zoid's in trouble.
He doesn't have his hop to get out of this one. Anime Cool doing so much true damage with that hit end style. Zoid's trying to get the passive come off, but Gragas is just too huge at the moment. Mega Gnar doesn't come out, and there's the first blood going straight to Anime is Cool.
And that's showing us there the power of Aurelia. She's even 10 CS up before that kill went down. So she's doing a fantastic job zoning out the Gnar. He should really be able to push her out early, but she was just more than happy to take that kill, and now she's got a massive lead.
And Xiaomain gets the chain onto him, but it doesn't take in the end. And Rainy looking for Zappo once again. A lot of pressure coming in the mid lane, a lot of trading off, and the Lulu looks like she's out-sustaining it for the time being.
Yeah, she's doing a good job keeping down LeBlanc, making sure that, but as we said, a lot of damage coming through.
Oh, the flash getting forced out. Doesn't look like Saurus will be going after that one, and the ignite and the flash getting popped. Sorry, I think just the flash for the Lulu, the ignite for LeBlanc, and still a really heavy lane in that mid lane.
Yeah, definitely. And Jabe's doing a really good job zoning out the bottom lane as well.
And look at the positioning of Jabes here. It's very crucial. He's looking for that Zenith Blade against Rainy. He's looking for a way in. With Chow Mein being such a squishy support, the 2v2, I believe that Sivir would have it.
Yeah, and he catches him.
And this is exactly what we're talking about as Rainy gets a lot of damage on him. The Sunfire passive onto him, goes straight towards him. Jabes and Zappo both miss that zap, and Rainy gets a bit of a reminding who's in charge down here.
Basically saying, look, you guys may have been bullying us early, but now it's our turn. We've got the tools, and if you get caught, you're going to get hurt. Yeah,
the Leona has such great engage, such great sustain for that Sivir, and I think the appearance of Gragas down bot might actually change the appearances. He gets spotted by a ward, gets pinged out, and Anime is Cool once again. Going on Zoids, a lot of aggression up there without the Mega Gnar. I don't think that Aurelia can be stopped.
Not really, no. And she's just happy to sit there. She's sort of zoning out him at the moment as well. And she's ahead by leaps and bounds at the moment. 10 CS up, plus that kill. She's already got a Phage as well. She just needs to wait out for that next Mega Gnar to come through, and then she can probably all in him.
Yeah, well, we see the hit-end style being maxed now. Remember, the Equilibrium Stripe used to be the one that maxed, but the true damage is just so huge with this tank meta, and Corduroy comes in with a nice flash against Saurus. He gets tanked, but not enough damage to finish off the kill, and that seems like it's a case with a lot of the lanes here. Not enough damage just yet to finish off any of the kills.
It's too early in the game. None of them managed to pick up their first real big items, except for LeBlanc there. She's managed to finish off that Fiendish Codex for her, giving a lot of AP and a lot of cooldown reduction, but still not enough because she was the one being aggressed onto. Lulu's also finished that off as well, but LeBlanc's managed to come out on top, having that little bit of an extra with that Fairy Charm.
And Nautilus is topside, so he might make an appearance up to that top lane. Remember, top lane doesn't get too much attention a lot of the time. You got to remember that they do scale quite nicely by themselves, as long as they don't feed, as long as they don't make too many mistakes. The top lane is quite passive, and farming and aggression is really all it's about. But for the time being, Zolds and Anime is Cool just going to trade off with each other, going to keep getting farm. That farm advantage, as you said, 23 farm ahead, and it looks like he might be half a level ahead as well.
Pretty much. I think one of the reasons why top laners don't really get that much of a look at, I believe it's called the Dyrus effect.
Oh.
Generally speaking, you just want to let them be there and get everything else big because the dragon's in the bot lane. So if you manage to pick up a kill in the bot lane, you get the pressure there, you get a quick dragon, but Zoid's going in.
As we say that though, Dankus Tank comes into here, and Anime is Cool trying to use his tenacity and get some lifesteal, but the dredge line picks him up, and Anime is Cool has to get out of this, otherwise he's dead, and Zoids picks up a kill, thankful of Dank Tank.
That was one of the longest dredge lines I've ever seen, but very quickly by Passionfruit, they know that they're down, they're going to go for this Dragon right now.
And Jabes doesn't have the Solar Flare to steal this one away. Doesn't look like they'll be able to get this. They get the Dragon quite easily, uncontested, and that's going to be a bit of a backup for them in this early game stage as Jabes gets picked up by a nice trap, and they're getting zoned in just a little bit.
Pretty much, yeah. Even though Jabes and Sivir have control in that lane, or Zappo has control in the bottom lane, being able to pick up that Dragon really is quick. There's more action. Poor Anime.
And it looks like Zoids wants to zone him against the wall if he can, and the ult hasn't come out just yet from Nah. He's savoring. Actually, he doesn't have it for the time, but he used it in the last initiate. Anime is cool, gets out by the string of his teeth. Yeah,
he's being camped now at the moment. No Dyrus effect happening here. Poor Anime is cool. He's just on damage control. He's still chucking away at his crystalline flasks, and Lulu's coming up to help.
And Lulu is making a bit of a roam quite early up here. Wouldn't expect it, would you? As Zoids, he gets knocked up by Anime is cool with the ult from Lulu. The damage is so huge, and Xiaomane picks up his first kill of the game.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication there. Not letting him know, hey, you know, there is no one in the mid lane right now. You might be a little bit careful. No, I'm fine. I'm not. It's all good. You're not good. And going on through, Aurelia was just quick, made quick work of him, and now the advantage swings back into Anime's Cool's favor.
He's pushing this really hard. He wants to get the advantage. Might proxy the wave, but he just pushes it. Goes back. Looks like with the gold he's got, he might be able to finish that Sheen. 800 gold now. He can finish it with that Mana Crystal quite easily.
Yeah, now that he's got that Sheen as well, he's building towards that Triforce. It's a really big pickup for him as well because it just adds even more to his true damage that will build through once he activates his hit end style.
The hit end style is not... I remember a couple of metas ago, sorry, I should say a couple of patches ago, it wasn't actually the first to be maxed. It was normally the Equilibrium Strike.
Exactly.
Because of the damage. But now that that's been cancelled off a bit, the true damage, and in the tank meta, what a great time to bring out the Aurelia.
Pretty much, yeah. It's so strong as well having that hit end style because it passively gives you the sustain you need to remain in lane.
Yeah.
A lot of the time they end up building attack speed because if you get more auto attacks off, it just means more sustain for you.
Oh, definitely. And I think that's a very strong way to play Aurelia against a Nah who has a lot of range poke. 35 CS. Sorry, I'd say 25 to 30 CS. That's how far ahead Nah is. Even with the Mega Nah form, he can't force this Aurelia out. She's being very aggressive early, and I think her ability to sort of clear waves and sort of, you know, what's the word, kite this Nah, is giving her a really big advantage.
Yeah, it's the big thing is that Nah can't really harass her down. One of the things when you try to fight Aurelia is you don't want her to use her stun when you're above an HP, which is really annoying as Nah because you're actually going to do it. And they're going in again.
That's exactly what I was talking about. As Anime Cool dodges the slow from Zoids, and now he's got an opportunity to get him. Anime's Cool looking for the stun. A really nice explosive cast. Zones off Zoids, having to force a flash. Anime's Cool might have to flash himself. He doesn't know that Dank Tank is in there. He comes in there. Anyway, the hit end style has been activated. Equilibrium Strike going in as well, as Aurelia doesn't have her ult just yet. The smite goes off. Nautilus doesn't want to die. He's hanging on to his dear old life. The the flash comes out from Xiaomane, looks for the speed, gets slowed by Nah. Saurus comes in here. The LeBlanc, very treacherous waters she's just come into, gets CC'd against the wall. The passive works out quite nicely, but now we see an engage down bottom as Rainy gets so much damage taken towards her. Jube's looking for but the rocket doesn't do that much damage. We're very sorry. The shotgunning does not work anymore, Rainy. You don't have any more mana, and it looks like top the LeBlanc gets out. And it's just a bloodfest once again throughout the map.
The teams are scrapping out at the moment. They went through, managed to pick up a kill on Dank there, but then from that, they went a bit too far trying to pick up the 9. From that, they returned a kill in favor of LeBlanc, who really needed that as well. She also picked up an extra refresh on her blue buff.
I think with the LeBlanc, the distortion coming over the wall, the distortion, I believe so.
Yes.
Perhaps could have used it to get over and then, of course, burst down and go back to that distortion.
Xiaomane's in trouble. She's got the depth charge on him.
Oh, the depth charge just zones off Xiaomane so much. The smite just makes short work of it, and Zappo gets a kill. But Anime's cooldown in the bottom here. Don't think he has flash just yet. He doesn't need it anyway. Might actually get Jabes as well. The hit end style too strong at the moment. And the Nautilus getting so much damage taken towards him, but he's just going to pick up the 1, and Jinx knows that there's someone else coming down bot, but LeBlanc gets zoned off nicely.
Very nice teleport there by Anime is Cool. That's coming through a little bit too early. You want to try and time your teleports when you're going for a gank when the dragon's up. She's going to be trading a kill now for the top tower as Na's going to push that in, but she might be able to pick up the bottom tower for herself. James is just sitting there. What is he doing?
Not sure Jabe should still be there at this stage of the game, looking to bait, but maybe a bit prematurely as Dankus Tank getting another kill for the Aurelia, who is now 4 for 1, and it looks like the LeBlanc's looking to go on Saurus in the middle, but he gets out with the Ignite freshly ticking on him, and they're going to push that wave. Zoid's going to get the top turret, and it still looks like Passionfruit is the superior team in this competition at the moment.
Definitely. Kudos Games is having trouble there. I'm not sure what that bait was. It was probably backfired extremely there. But Katori's on to
really
Saurus.
nice to go back to the Distortion, but Xiaomain is waiting for you there. And another kill going to that Lulu, who is getting well fed.
Yeah, and with Lulu, she does tend to put her off a little bit as the game goes further and further on. But if she's going to get big early, she's going to be doing a lot of damage early. And that's something you don't want, honestly, utility support.
Look at Xiaomain at the moment. When he goes back, his first kill, and as we're looking down there, Zappo just takes a couple of rockets to the face, a couple more than he should be at the moment. The Lulu, with 920 gold to go back, picks up the blasting wand. And that's probably going to go towards either a Scene Abyssal Scepter or maybe, if they're that crazy, a lot of the Lulus build the Rabadon straight out.
It's fantastic on her because her movement speed actually scales with ability power. Rainy's in trouble.
Oh, Rainy gets CC'd by the Nautilus, and Zoid's looking for this. Doesn't look like she's going to get out of this one as the Solar Flare a bit abruptly gets wasted, but it doesn't matter for the time being because that's the 80 carry down for Passionfruit. So all they have to do now is take this dragon, get the objective control, maybe get a pick.
They definitely have an advantage to it. And Passionfruit don't even look at this. Going to go and trade that dragon. They've already got their first one for the mid turret. So just taking the safer play out of this. But they might be in trouble now themselves.
Anime is Cool looking to get away from this one. Gets down by a Zenith Blade, but Jabe's not done with the Aurelia just yet. Follows him through to the dark side. And Dank Tank looking for the Dredge line to go on Anime is Cool. Not big enough for the time being. Saurus looks for Anime is Cool as well. Everyone wants this Aurelia, but it looks like they're just going to... Kudos Gaming just going to go back for the time being.
Yeah, and heading up to the top lane with a massive wave is Lulu as well. So she might push through. No, she's just going to back away, let that wave crash against the tower, and basically deny Na some free farm.
Yeah, Na is scaling quite nicely. 30 CS behind the Aurelia and a couple of kills to boot as well. But he's still doing his part for Kudos Gaming.
Oh yeah, definitely doing his part. He's already finished his Randuin's Omen. The next build will probably be into that Banshees or that Spirit Visage, but he's got some more cooldown reduction. But just scrapping along across the board, there is a 2k gold lead coming through for Passionfruit. A lot of action coming ahead. And
the Sivir roaming down to this bottom lane, looking for a bit of extra farm, but little does he know Rainy is there as well. The Sivir's got a kill on him, and Zippo doing quite well to use it to move to that Infinity Edge. Of course, the Infinity Edge getting picked up by Rainy as well. Trying to get away from Jubes, but the Solar Flare hits dead on as Janna shields. Tries to get the Zenith Blade, but it's not enough for the time being, and Jabe's just wasted a Solar Flare there.
Pretty much. And she did a lot of damage. They're going to be able to push this out, but they're just going to go through, back away, and let that
he's playing a bit cheeky. He's playing a bit cheeky up top. Anime is cool. He knows that the Na's going to try and engage on this. He keeps going back and forth, and his Aurelia is actually showing to be quite quite proficient.
Yeah, it's definitely a force to be reckoned with. 4-1 at the moment, 130 CS, 40 up from the Gnar at the moment. So, and we also got the Gragas coming in to see if they can probably push him out one more time, get a free tower. Just see what's going to happen. He's sneaking up now.
He's got the Mega Gnar though, so they might want to be careful if they don't misplay this, misjudge the health and the damage that the Gnar's going to be providing. He goes into Mega Gnar form, going to keep him alive for quite a bit longer, but Anime is cool, going to take a bit of damage. Maybe he wants to engage Zoids, and the barrel comes out, the explosive cast. Flash also comes out. Oh my god, he times the ult so that it gets Aurelia in the end. The damage goes towards Gragas' way, and Kottoroy picks up his first kill of the game, but yet another kill participation as the top turret goes down as well.
Yeah, Kottoroy playing fantastically at the moment. He's 1-0 for 4. All kill participation, no kill giveaways.
Yeah.
But one of the amazing things about that is that's the power of Aurelia showing you right there. Everyone knows Gnar to be this tanky force that can't be taken down with. Well, no, even in Mega Gnar form, I can beat you because I've got that true damage.
Yeah, and look, the Trinity Force is providing more than just its work. it's showing how deadly it makes Aurelia. You've seen the Gnar on the Trinity Force, which it used to be a very common build. Obviously not anymore. Now that people see that the scaling is a bit silly. Obviously it doesn't work as well as people thought it did. But on the Aurelia, I think Trinity Force is one of the best scaling items with one of the best scaling champions.
It's initially her strongest power spike in the game. Once she's got that, she pretty much needs to go full tank. That's all she needs from there. She can still go Blade of the Ruin King if she wants to. She can still go...
But she'll fall off.
She'll fall off. She won't be there as big. All you really need is Triforce and get tanky, and then that's it. And just clear out straight away for that ADC. That's your target. So at the moment, Zappo might be feeling a bit scared.
Lesson number 1, children. If everything goes wrong, build tank. So Gnar has decided to go for the Randuin's Omen first, which is going to make him scale. It is true, though. If everything goes wrong, you build tank.
You do. You really do. That's one of the... Except if you're ADC, just keep building damage and hope for the best. That's the other rule.
Hope for the best.
Hope for the best. But yeah, if you're pretty much in any other... if you're in that top or jungle and things aren't going well for you, build tank and wait for a mistake. Because they're going to jump on you, and if you've got a tower, you're probably going to kill them.
Now, we look at the Gragas, who's actually maxed his barrel roll to start off. Now, his barrel, of course, does damage with the AP, but with a lot of these Cinderhulk Gragases, you normally see that the W gets maxed first. There's a nicely timed barrel against Zoids, and he's got his body slam up as well. It looks like he's just pushing back towards Anime's cool turret, but it doesn't matter. Look at him clean up this wave. The camera's having a very hard time, and... Oh, Saurus just takes a cue. The camera tried to follow that. It just struggled.
Sometimes that directive flow is just not good enough for us.
What I love to see is the fact that... No, coming back to my point, you see that Gragas has his barrel roll, his Q max first.
Yes.
Now, a lot of the time, the Drunken Rage, the W for Gragas, is maxed first because you build straight tank on the Gragas jungle. And the W does crazy amounts of damage. That's why a lot of people max the Drunken Rage. But it's strange that he's gone for the barrel roll in an attempt to maybe get more slow off, a bit more damage with that extended poke, which is a really great tactic because it's been doing so much more slowing. And for that top, he's been camping quite a bit. It's working out quite nicely.
Yeah, Aurelia is even bigger now. She's starting to go into that tank form. She's picked up the spirit, the makings of her Spirit Visage or Banshees, depending on what she go. Probably the Spirit Visage, just to synergize better with her hit 10 style. And then on top of that, she's also got that Glacial Shroud for a bit of extra cooldown. Will be coming into a Frozen Heart for more cooldown reduction and to really affect Zappo when she tries to auto attack. She won't be able to. 20% less on that.
Oh, I mean, there's so much damage coming through in Anime. Cool. He once again looks for Danker's tank, and look at that. Trades and gets straight out. He knows Aurelia like the back of his hand.
Yeah, it was so quick as well. Just getting that extra bonus speed from the Rage when he came through and pushed him away.
No mistakes.
No mistakes, indeed. And I believe that is a electricity enchant on his boots as well. So he's even faster than your average Aurelia.
Oh, yeah. The alacrity bonus is just giving him so much speed. Look at him. He knows that the enemy team is going to be in that mid lane looking for something. They push down that mid turret, and now they're going to try and hope to zone it off. But Anime is Cool is on this back line looking for something. Lulu ults, and in that back there, Anime Cool's gone mad. But as we see, this Corduroy goes straight in on the carries, and Saurus getting zoned off all the way out there. Jabe's looking for the Zenith Blade, trying to turn this around with a Solar Flare, but it doesn't take as Zoid's trying to get these carries. Xiaomen probably aiming for the wrong person. Rainy's in there, just free farming. And Kudos Gaming are getting destroyed at the moment. The rocket to finish it off. That's 4 members down. There you see that Passionfruit have got the expertise needed to be the open ladder champions for this week.
Definitely. They are so good at the moment. They are so dominant. They have a 4K gold lead going through. Anime's Cool is doing work for them again. The moment that team fight had started, the first thing he did was go straight on the LeBlanc, force the passive. She had to get out of there. He wasn't done. He went straight for Rainy afterwards. Oh, sorry, not Rainy. He went straight for Zappo afterwards.
Yeah.
And from there, he was just completely gone. The damage was real. He did a lot of damage to Dank as well, allowing Rainy to pick him up with a Mega Def.
And what I love is at this stage of the game, not even mid, we're 22 minutes in, and it looks like Passionfruit are taking their lead. They've got a 6k goal bonus, but that's not all. The fact in that fight, I just want to come back to quickly, is LeBlanc's cooldowns for a distortion and even her ult are not that small at the moment. She can't spam them like she does in that late game stage. She can't be very sneaky, or she can't do the things she wants to do, but Xiao Mane tries to go for Saurus, but gets bursted in the process. Maybe this was a bit too eager. As I say that, though, Saurus gets taken down by Rainy. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Rainy might actually go for Jabes and stick around for a bit. Does have the blue buff, so the Zap is another possibility coming in. Zappo looks to get Katori. Now the Gnar is down here as well. Zoid's looking for the boomerang, hits it, but it's just going to be for the 1-for-1 trade in the end.
Yeah, they're trying to see if they could bait it out there. Unfortunately, Xiao Mane just wasn't tanky enough, even with that Wild Growth, to deal with the Luden's Echo and the burst coming through from LeBlanc. Katori's there as well, just seeing he can zone away, just barely dodging that Barrow from Zoids. So, and they're just going to do a quick push here. Everyone's moving quickly now to protect that bottom turret.
And Katori is, with that Barrow maxed, a lot of wave clear as well, I forgot to add before. 1 for 0 for 9, really playing a huge part in Passionfruit's team composition at the moment. You've got 10 out of 14 kill participation. He's everywhere. He's been using that exploding cast, his ultimate, so well. Especially on that Gnar, who has so much survivability when you think about it. He's just been getting zoned off, and the Aurelia-Gragas combination has absolutely been shutting him down before he can get fed.
Yeah, definitely. And at this point, Aurelia's just really taking her power spike and working with it. She's finished off her Frozen Heart now, so she's going to have a lot more damage dealing capabilities.
We thought we'd see the Spirit Visage there.
Yeah, definitely. But in this case, there's a lot more. There seems to be a lot more AD coming through from the side that seems to be the threat from Zappo and from Gnar. So having that Frozen Heart early is actually good to have, because not only does it affect Gnar's auto attack speed, it affects Zappo's auto attack speed.
And the auto attack speed is so important at this stage of the game. Of course, getting those procs off and managing to do the things you need to do. I'm just thinking about what Anime Cool's going to do next. He's unpredictable. He's really got it good at dodging those skill shots. Zoids looks like he might want to take on, but Anime Cool goes straight for the turret. Nautilus is in this top side here. As we said, that Saurus just bursts down Rainy. There's the 80 carry taken out. It looks like we might see a rotation up to this top lane. Passionfruit might have to be a bit careful here. It is a 4v5, but Cotteroy, he doesn't care. He pops the Righteous Glory, goes in, takes a couple of turret hits, and out they go.
Pretty much, just sort of disengaging the whole fight from there. They don't want to get caught up in a 5v4 as their ADC is now down. Rainy got blown up. That was a fantastic solar flare.
That was a fantastic solar flare, which is going to zone out, but the LeBlanc goes straight back to a distortion. Now she's out of the fight, doesn't have the cooldowns just yet. Zappo gets taken down by the Aurelia. There's another distortion. LeBlanc sitting on the outside of this fight, looking for something to take away from it for the time being. But Gnar's trying to get some kills, but Xiao Mane gets taken down. In essence, Gragas goes as well, but Zoids is going to get destroyed, and now the only one left is Saurus. He looks like he wants something from this fight. He's going to come back over. A really nice Howling Gale to zone back, and Saurus just going to sit on the outskirts of this one. Didn't really do much that fight.
No, he didn't do much. And again, Anime is cool, comes out big for the team. He picks up 3 kills there. He's still full HP. They aggro the Baron just to get a little bit of more into Saurus.
Oh, but he runs into Chalman. He gets the kill there, but oh, wow. The rocket at Flashpoint. Probably only did 25 damage, but it was an explosion of pieces in there. Aurelia picks up the kill. Xiao Mane most probably gets this top turret, and Passionfruit looking even stronger than they did 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, definitely. That was actually a 4v5. They managed to win out on top there as well, even with that amazing ultimate that was thrown out by James. Aurelia is just too big at the moment. Now he's finished his Spirit Visage. He knows he can literally go into lanes and probably 2v1 now, and he seems to be building more attack speed as well now. He's not going for that tank. He's going for that carry Aurelia build. Look at that. Probably a Blaze of the Ruin King we can look forward to see, or the next build will either be a Wit's End.
Man, the camera really loved Dank Tank just then. Just wanted to see his swaggy Nautilus walk, but
well, he's a swaggy man.
He must be, especially with the Frozen Heart and the Cinderhulk. Glad to see Nautilus's return to the jungle, especially after Cinderhulk has been nerfed down just a little bit. I mean, obviously Nautilus was very popular during the time. Holy moly, the wave clear coming through from Aurelia. Sorry, I get excited about the silliest things. Blade of the Ruin King might be coming through from Aurelia, but let's come back to what I was saying. Nautilus in the jungle, right? It's something you don't normally see, or you're not seeing a lot in the lower elo, especially the oceanic scene. And it's great to see it return. Has it done well in comparison to Gragas? Probably not yet. You can see the Dragon Control coming through as they pick up their third one. Anime is cool, just ridiculous at the moment. Disgustingly fed.
It is just, you can just see the fear in the Blanc the moment she went through there just to sort of jump through. Like, It was like, oh yeah, I'm just jumping in. Don't mind me. Let me just farm in between the towers, take a couple turret shots. That is fine. Yeah, you should distortion away. That's a good idea.
Yeah, anime is cool. Just sitting in front of this turret, waiting for the Jinx to come through. Of course, Rainy does a lot of damage as that Jinx. Anime is cool, knows when to go in, and now is the time. The Gragas barrel separates a couple of them. Rainy gets a couple of good shots off on the LeBlanc, zoning them back. The shield, of course, going to give him a bit of leeway in this fight, but Jubes is going to have to do something now, at least zone one of them off or get a solar flare. Otherwise, nothing's going to happen. And so much pressure coming down on this bottom turret with waves pushing in regards to Kudos Gaming. For them, I should say.
Pretty much. Anime's cool is fearless at the moment. He was in that situation. They could have easily jumped onto him, but they chose not to. They know how tanky he is. Solar Flare is on.
Solar Flare goes on Xiaomain, but then Irelia gets the turret before anything else can happen. James just getting destroyed in there, and he's not tanky enough for this. Anime Cool in that backline. Might actually die here. Gets taken down by Nautilus, but the rest of the team are on Zoids. He's still in the middle of this conflict. There comes the depth charge straight from Daker's tank. Xiaomain looking to disengage for Rainy as a good support should. Rainy gets the kill. There's the triple kill there. Looking for the Sivir. Doesn't get it though. Corduroy gets Zappo. LeBlanc is still there, but Rainy might be able to outplay this here. The rocket goes out, but the Super Mega Death Rocket doesn't hit for the time being. The Zap goes down. The traps go down. LeBlanc is walking down, but in the end, it's going to be a 3-for-4 tray in the way of Passionfruit.
Passionfruit are just so strong at the moment. There is not much they could really do, even with that positioning from Aurelia. She did make a mistake going so deep there. She could have easily gone back. Rennie's in trouble.
Oh, almost outplayed that one coming in through there. And Saurus nearly got destroyed by that. All it took was one more auto. Maybe the minigun form would have done it, but of course the rocket giving 110% damage. We just don't know there. But LeBlanc picks up yet another assassination.
Yeah, and from that, that's a really nice pickup on the edge of that. That basically throws a little bit of motivation, a bit of morale back in the favor of Kudos Gaming. Hopefully they can make something happen from that because they know that LeBlanc is getting fairly big. She's 7-3-2, doing work on her side as well. If any of the squishies on the side of Passionfruit make one misstep, you can be sure LeBlanc's going to be there to pick it up. And that really pushes the favor in what Kudos Gamers need for those team fights because Aurelia, although she's huge at the moment, she's going to fall off, and it looks like she's going for a Blade of the Ruined King after picking up that Vamp Scepter.
Look at Xiaomain doing so much damage to that Leona. I mean, Jabe's not tanky enough yet to contest any of those AP carries or AD carries, and Kotori is just... he's just a huge front line at the moment, as Gragas should be. That big belly is defending a lot of things. LeBlanc face checking, of course, with the distortion, getting a bit of vision control. There comes the Righteous Glory. It's been popped there. Looking for an engage. Anime Cool so fast at the moment. Is he going to go in or not? And no, they're not.
Pretty much. It's one of those situations where they basically said to him, hey, got to go fast. Dangtank just going a little bit too far there, but no one just jumping on that, taking out that ward. Looks like they're going for a bait.
No vision control up here.
Yeah, they just control the jungle at the moment.
And there's nothing really coming through there. They know that there's a ward in that brush. They're going to probably take it out. Dangtank trying to clear vision as best he can, but it looks like Passionfruit had this so well warded. Kudos Gaming are going to have to step up their game. They're going to have to really think about their next decision in the next 10 minutes. Otherwise, they're going to have some serious problems trying to defend their base.
There is so much siege potential on the side of Passionfruit as well. They've got the Jinx rockets. They've got the Lulu poke. They've got the Gragas barrel roll. They've even got Janna throwing her tornadoes out. There is a lot they can do to siege at the moment, and they're in trouble now because they are definitely sieging down hard.
Oh, they're looking so strong at the moment. They have the potential to go pro, this team Passionfruit, as such well-placed. Barrel goes there, takes out Japes. There's their CC potential, at least half of it gone anyway, and without Japes, it becomes a 5v4, and a siege continues in this top turret.
Just sitting there waiting in between those turrets, just waiting for the picks to come through. Fantastic explosive cards by Kotori there. There's not much James could do. And MA's Cool's like, no worries, I'm going to just add to my money pool here. And he's just going to take that kill going through, and now the next siege is coming in.
And it looks like the Renan's Hurricane with the Vampiric Scepter gets picked up. A Blade of the Ruined King getting picked up for Anime is cool. He gets picked up by the Dredge line, but it doesn't matter for the time being. They're so strong. They're probably going to move to Baron here, or at least back and bait. And what can you do in this situation if you were Kudos Gaming?
Really have to move very, very carefully through this jungle because they are going for that Baron now. So there we go.
Oh, very nice from Xiaomin. He gets rid of everything on him, and He very much deserves to play that giant. A good disengage from the LeBlanc, who would have made it a 4v5 in Kudos Gaming's favor. They go for the Baron here, but they need to challenge this. Kudos Gaming really need to challenge this, otherwise they're going to lose itself as the Righteous Glory gets popped here. James is on the other side there, going for the Nautilus. They go straight to Zappo, and Anime is cool, looking for Zappo in this fight. Can he get him in this fight? Anime cool, looking for more damage. Zappo really needs to get out of this one. The true damage coming from Hit and Style on Anime cool, doing so much. Another kill goes to Rainy, and LeBlanc takes out Jana. He couldn't before. LeBlanc around that backside. Dank Tank bringing the whole team with him. The Equilibrium Strike stuns that Nautilus. Xiaomain picks up a kill, and LeBlanc gonna have to go back because you're one of the only two. Oh my god, the rocket only just missed, I believe. This is going to be the base well and truly broken, though. Just like, oh, that was magical.
Definitely magical there.
Oh,
wow, the damage from LeBlanc is massive. Rainy taking a lot of damage there, but he's down but not out as they make their way towards the Dragon. Also going to pick up a blue buff for their troubles.
Yeah, and look at the gold difference now as we start 11.8k actually moving to that fourth Dragon. Going to get that 15% damage to turrets, I think, or minions or monsters, whichever reverse it is for the time being. They're just going to back off now, and that's their Dragon, and maybe we might see a Baron come through from a sneaky Baron would be good coming through from Kudos Gaming.
I mean, they can go for a sneaky Baron. I think the moment you realize everyone's been disappeared from the map for roughly a minute, they're probably at the Baron, but they do have the extra push now in the mid lane. They can probably simply just push all their force into it, probably with a couple of super minions. That forces Kudos Gaming to have to sit back in their base and clear that out, and that opens up the opportunity for a Baron or a Baron bait.
And look, I think with the huge Titan's Wrath that comes through from the Nautilus, I think he has the ability to tank it a bit. I think he has the ability to, whether it's a Baron or the enemy team, if they get a pick, his front line is huge. Nautilus is a huge front line, as well as Jabes. Good engage, good disengage, and good CC. The only problem is that Passionfruit are normally so grouped and they're so synergized with each other that you can't really get a pick in this situation.
Nah, Passionfruit are doing a fantastic job just hanging around as a team. They don't need to separate now. To be honest, separating would be the one thing.
Oh,
Zoid's in trouble.
Zoids takes so much damage from this one, but Anime Score is now in the middle of a 1v3. The rest of the team might be looking for this. The Jinx Super Mega Death Rocket doesn't hit. Even Nah uses his ult, but now Nautilus is a huge front line. That's the problem there. There was no one else of his team. They couldn't really be there anyway, but Nautilus gets bursted as if he was a fly.
Pretty much. There's not much he could do, even with that Titan's Wrath on his side. He can't handle 5 players beating on him. That's just a given as the next set of the wave comes through.
And it looks like they might get this top turret. Righteous Glory gets popped. Going for the LeBlanc. The Equilibrium Strike stuns him down. James with the Solar Flare gets their whole team, but it doesn't matter as Katori, the explosive cast, is there if he needs it. Actually, at the moment, we still see Anime Cool in this fight doing so much damage. He's got his 15th kill of the game, ladies and gentlemen. And the CC goes on Clitosaurus. As we see there, the huge auto attack. And the ace comes through from the Jinx. This is most likely probably going to be game. And no members from Passionfruit have been taken down. They are looking so strong. Such a huge contender for the open ladder as the surrender vote comes in. Mendrix, that was intense.
There were some real style points coming through from the Jinx in that game. That was an amazing finish to go through, managing to get that little wild growth at the very end to keep her alive when LeBlanc tried to burst her down. And then after that, hey, you know what? I'm just going to flash into your fountain and get the last killing shot. Thank you.
And there wasn't a point where the Gragas did miss an explosive cast. As soon as that CC of the Gragas comes through, you're like, oh, I'm so dispositioned, I may as well be on the other side of the map, you know? And the explosive cast does really well to ensure that, or especially with the Nah, I mean, I feel sorry for him because every explosive cast was used on him. He got CC'd behind, left, right, center, you know?
He's kind of shot around like a ping pong ball.
Yeah, he was. And I mean, like, Nah Pong is not as catchy as catchy.
Still a fun game.
It's still a very fun game, but I'm sure that Aurelia had a really fun time. Anime is cool, proving his worth as a top laner. I believe that, was it the Heck Room last time he went?
Yes.
And that was just, he triumphed over that. He triumphed over the Aurelia.
That was a Heck Room ban.
Obviously, you got to ban the Aurelia now. You can't leave the Heck Room open. You can't leave the Aurelia open. Maybe one of the best top laners in the open ladder we've seen just yet.
Yeah, definitely. Very exciting to see those plays that he's putting through. He's just doing amazing work for the team, coming through for them.
And of course, Passionfruit will move on to the next round, but we will be back with you after this. Make sure you stay tuned for more ACL Open ladder action.